Dear friends, we are talking about human behaviors. We are all humans, so many times we wonder about why do people behave the way they do. You might be surprised and sometimes you may get curious to know why does that man talk in a very funny way, or why does that particular lady behaves in a very strange manner. Why does the old man gets angry with small children? Now, when we meet such people and find people behaving in different ways, obviously we get curious to know. We cannot know all the explanation, but once we know a very basic way of explaining human behavior, I think we'll feel very comfortable. Now, I will give you a very small fundamental kind of principle that once one anthropologist said three very interesting kind of sentences. He said that every person is like all other person, every person is like some other person, and every person is like none other person. Let us take a pause and explain and analyze these sentences carefully. First of all, every person is like all other person. It implies that we are all humans and we behave in certain ways just because we are humans. There is a commonality factor maybe given by the brain, which is more or less same. So we have a commonality factor and we may be behaving in a particular way just because we are human. The second sentence says we are like some other persons. That means every person belongs to a particular group. A person may behave in a particular way because he or she may be a male or a female, that the person may behave in a particular way, maybe that the person is a kind of child or an adolescent or a pre-adult or an adult or an elderly person. A person may behave in a particular way because he is an Indian or an American. So depending on our group belongingness, we behave in a particular way. The third principle is the principle of uniqueness, that every person is like none other person. That we get this kind of uniqueness because of our individual experience, because of our family experiences, because of our socialization processes. We grow differently, therefore we behave differently. Now, to explain all the kinds of behavior, you can influence a particular principle called the ABC of human behavior. Now, let me explain what is this ABC of human behavior. Now, A stands for antecedent or the context. If we are explaining the behavior of a student, obviously the classroom is the context. If we are explaining the behavior of a teacher, obviously the school is the context. If we are explaining the behavior of an employee, the organization is the particular kind of context. Then second is behavior, which is the target of our explanation. Now C is the crucial element in our explanation process. Now C refers to the consequences. Dear friends, remember that the strength of a behavior depends on the consequences it produces. That means if the students come to the class and get some benefit, then their tendency of coming to the class will go off. On the contrary, if they come to the class, don't get any kind of benefit, obviously their tendency of coming to the class will go down. Similarly, if an employee comes to the plant and gets certain benefits in terms of pay, other kinds of packages, then the tendency will go up. On the contrary, if he doesn't get any kind of benefit or he gets reprimanded, naturally the tendency of coming to the plant will go down. Therefore, in order to strengthen the behavior, the consequence is important. Sometimes we may feel that the mother or the father complains, the child is not washing the hand and still insisting on eating. In that case, the mother may not punish the child physically, but if the mother says, if you don't wash your hands, you are not going to eat with me. Now this is the withdrawal of the kinds of privileges or the rewards. And once the mother says so, the child will obviously try to wash the hand because the child always values the mother's approval and love. Therefore, any kind of withdrawal of the reward will work in a kind of negative manner. Therefore, to give you a tip for understanding behavior and forming a behavior, if you want certain behavior to be formed, to be strengthened, then try to ensure that the behavior follows certain positive consequences. Either appreciate either give some reward, monetary or otherwise, and give some kind of positive and pleasant experiences. On the contrary, if you want to weaken or eliminate a behavior, try to withdraw the positive consequences and become indifferent and become always withdraw some of the privileges which you gave in the past, so that the negative behavior, if not eliminated, will at least be weakened and that will go away. This is the basic simple principle, so that you can form the behavior, whether your target person is a child or an adolescent or even an adult. Whatever, irrespective of the station of the person's lives, you can shape the behavior in your own advantage. This is one of the very crucial ABC principle of behavior, which will help you in really having a positive kind of behavior in other targeted population. Thank you.